Hey everyone, welcome to the Explorers. Today we are going to discuss about the moon. You all may be familiar or you might have heard words like blue moon, full moon, red moon, blood moon. But what do you know about these moons? Do you know what these terms mean? Okay, let me explain to you about all these terms related to the moon. But before understanding this, let's know some basics about moon. We all can see moon from earth. Do you know how far moon is from the earth? Let's see. Moon is nearly 4 lakh kilometers away from us. And do you know that 30 earths can fit in between the distance of moon and the earth? So, isn't it surprising? Now, as you know, we have recently sent Chandrayaan to the moon and also USA has sent humans on moon. Isn't that so astonishing and tell us about our extraordinary capabilities? The moon is Earth's only natural satellite in the solar system. The moon's gravitational influences produces tides on Earth. Moon has been the subject of exploration by various spacecraft and was visited by astronauts during the Apollo missions in the late 1960s and 1970s. Do you want to know more about this human moon landing mission? If you want to see that, please tell us in the comment below. Now let's understand about the phases of the moon. The phases of the moon refers to the different appearances of the moon seen from Earth due to its changing position relative to the Earth and the Sun. Main phases of the moon are new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and waning crescent. These phases repeat in a predictable cycle known as the lunar cycle, which lasts about 29.5 days on average. Let's understand each phase of the moon one by one. What do you think is new moon? Is it a new moon that replaces the old moon? No, it's not the case. New moon is the moon which is not visible from the earth because it's positioned between the earth and the sun, with the illuminated side facing away from us. Let's understand this in simple terms. Imagine the moon is like a big shiny ball that floats around the earth. When we talk about the new moon, it's like the moon is playing hide and seek with us. During the new moon, the moon is standing right between the earth and the sun, but we can't see it because the side of the moon that's shining is facing away from us. It's like the moon is saying, I am hiding. So during the new moon, the sky looks dark at night because the moon's not lighting it up. But don't worry, after a little while, the moon will start peeking out again and we will see it brighter and bigger in the sky. That's when we start seeing different shapes of the moon, like crescents and circles. It's like the moon is playing a game of now you see me, now you don't. Next phase we have to learn is the waxing crescent. Waxing crescent is a small silver of the moon becomes visible, gradually increasing in size. And let's imagine the moon is like a glowing nail clipping in the sky. When we say it's waxing crescent, it's like the moon is starting to grow bigger and it looks like a tiny curved fingernail. It happens after the new moon when just a little bit of the moon starts to peek out. So you might see a small silver of the light in the sky that's shaped like a smile. That's the waxing crescent. It's like the moon saying, hello, I'm starting to come back. Now let's discuss the next phase, and that is called as first quarter. It is when half of the moon is illuminated, resembling a half circle in the sky. This phase occurs when the moon has completed about a quarter of its orbit around the earth. Let's imagine the moon is like a big round cookie in the sky. When we say it's first quarter, it's like someone took a big bite out of a cookie, leaving just half of it. So during the first quarter, we can see exactly half of the moon shining in the sky. It looks like a big smiley face up there. Next phase of the moon is waxing gibbous. As days go by, More and more of the moon becomes visible until it's almost full. It's called as gibbous. When it's more than half but not quite full. And imagine banana for example, and it's not fully ripe yet. It's more than halfway yellow, but there is still a bit of green left. Waxing gibbous is like that banana. It's more than halfway lit up in sky, but it's not fully bright. Next phase is full moon. When the entire face of the moon is illuminated by sun, it appears as a complete circle in the sky. This phase is called as full moon and occurs about 2 weeks after new moon. Next phase is called as waning gibbous. It is after the full moon, the illuminated portion of the moon starts to decrease or wane. The moon is still more than halfway illuminated, but it's not as bright as it was during the full moon. Next phase is called as last quarter. We can also call it as third quarter. It happens after a week of full moon. Half of the moon's surface is illuminated again, but this time it's opposite half from the first quarter. This phase is called as the last quarter because it's the final quarter of the lunar cycle. Now let's understand waning crescent. As the lunar cycle nears completion, only a small sliver of the moon is illuminated, and it continues to decrease each night until it becomes a new moon again. So these are phases of the moon. I hope you have understood them very well. Now let's understand some common terms we hear or use for moon. Let's understand what is blue moon. The term blue moon refers to the second full moon that occurs within a calendar month. Do you think that this blue moon literally looks blue? Let's understand if it does. Blue moon is a very rare event. It happens approximately once in every 2 or 3 years. Despite its name, the moon doesn't actually look blue. It usually looks like any other full moon. The name blue moon is likely originated from the phrase once in a blue moon, which says that the event which happens rarely or infrequently, we use this phrase once in a blue moon. That's why. As for other colored moons, they are typically the result of atmospheric conditions or astronomical phenomena rather than the actual color of the moon itself. Examples of this phenomena are blood or red moon. During a total lunar eclipse, when the earth passes between the sun and the moon can appear red in color. This is because the earth's atmosphere filters out most of the sunlight, but some red light is refracted onto the moon, giving it a reddish color. Let's see what are supermoons. A supermoon occurs when the full moon coincides with the moon's closest approach to the earth in its orbit. Supermoons can appear slightly larger and brighter than normal, but they don't have distinct color. Let's understand black moon. The term black moon can refer to either the second new moon in calendar or month without a full moon. Like the blue moon, the black moon doesn't actually appear black in the sky. So you must be wondering how magical moon is and how beautiful all this is. I hope you have understood a lot of things about moon and you have learned a lot of things about moon today. So I hope you also do some research on moon and you make moon as your friend. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. Bye.